Yeah, I'm just gonna record another video anonymously about my feelings towards England and Great Britain. And I think, as of recent, over the last couple of years, probably more than that, probably arguably all my life, I've always had that desire to leave England, leave Great Britain. I think, especially this year, like, a lot of people seem to be feeling the same way with the current state of our government. That seems to be making decisions that's against the average working man or the poor man. And things like the riots going on, I'm not promoting rioting, but a lot of people are frustrated with England. And I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days, and I'm just like, England's doesn't seem to be a very inspiring place. Not anymore, anyway. Like, I'm not very inspired here. I just feel like there's something missing. The weather doesn't help. It's a very cold, dreary place, England, where during winters it can get really fucking cold. And I've had a few situations, a few scares, because I'm someone that's off sick at the minute. I've got Asperger's. I've had mental health issues, so I don't work. I'm in supported living, and I've had a few scares where something could happen. Where, oh, what if I end up homeless? And that's something that's unbearable to think of. I'm going off topic there, but ultimately, I just think England's not a very inspiring place, and I think there's a better life elsewhere. Like I live in just outside of Manchester, just one of these small towns where it's a bit dull. There's not a lot to it. I think outsiders, people who are not from England, like people who are from America or are just not from England, thinks Great Britain, England is probably the land of milk and honey. It's the pavements are paved of gold, or it's Mary Poppins or Paddington, or like fucking tea and crumpets, and it's fucking nothing like that. If anything, if I can define England, it's just a small fucking bubble where the rich elites live, and that's London. And you got poor people in that area, but ultimately, I think England is a very working class, poor country. There's only that little tiny bubble, that's it, little tiny London bubble where it is rich, it is the rich elites, and I think these days it's not what it was. It's very corrupt. There's a lot of shit in that, a lot of corruption in there, and the average working class town is just, I don't like them. One reason I don't go out very often because I just don't enjoy anything in England. There's nothing to go out for. Because a typical working class town, it's just a bit dull, grey. The modern day architecture since World War Two it's this brutalist Soviet styled architecture. It's just an eyesore. It's just stuff that depresses you. And all you get is McDonald's, Poundland, and Chavs. And I'm not going to say the other one because I don't fancy getting arrested for saying the other thing, but with our current government. But it's depressing. It's very uninspiring, and it's not the greatness that Britain once was. I don't think. Obviously, I weren't around back then, but when you think of England as a whole, like as a stereotype, it's supposed to be like just how I explained it, the land of milk and honey. Like there's a lot of great things that have come from here, and obviously there's a lot of bad things as well. But ultimately, it's supposed to be we're supposed to be a first world country. We're supposed to have it good here right at the minute. It doesn't really feel like that. A lot of people say it's like a third world country. It's turning into a dystopia. I don't think it's quite dystopian, but we're fucking certainly heading that way. And the thing I've been hearing fucking the most, definitely this year, is it's got that Orwellian vibe. It's like 1984 with our current government as well, and it's just depressing, really. So yeah, one of my dreams in life, one of my ultimate ambitions in life is to leave England, leave Great Britain, move to another country. I've always said before I would like to spend at least a year or two in another country. But I think at this rate, I quite fancy making that move a permanent move. I don't really know where it'll be. I'm no expert in immigration and all that, but by the sounds of it, it's going to be a very, very fucking hard thing because I don't know if I qualify as a skilled worker. I've got a degree, but I've not pursued my degree. And since university, I've struggled to get a job because of mental health, probably autism, and just how the economy is, I guess. Just how the state of England is, that everything is harder to do. It's harder to live here. It's hard to get a job. You get taxed for this and that, and I just don't think there's that argument where it's not even worth working anymore. And maybe if I lived elsewhere, life might be easier, where I might fulfill my potential rather than having labels being categorised into a box, being made out and told that, oh, you can't do out, you're not got it up in that head of yours to do anything, and just stuff that's soul destroyed and draining. I'm hearing a lot of people moving to East Asia, places like Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, people that own their own businesses with since COVID. There seems to have been a change where things are more online, where you can run an online business and work wherever you want in the world. And with those sort of places, it's a lower cost of living. I don't think you get taxed as much or taxed at all in some cases. I'm not really sure about that. But it's just a lot easier way of living. And that's got me thinking a bit. I don't really know the ins and outs of running my own business, but it's something I could look into, it's something I could potentially learn. So that's one option. And I don't know if that'll be my choice, going somewhere like East Asia, because I think it only benefits people that run their own business, really. But I think the more obvious option, the one I've thought of, look, all my life is just going to another English-speaking country where the climate might be better, like Australia, New Zealand. People seem happier there. Yeah, they've got their own problems. America is an obvious one. Canada. I've heard Canada's probably one of the more easier places to immigrate, but one of those type of countries. Yeah, they've got problems themselves, but as an outsider, I've always thought to myself, there's a better life there, probably. Especially like New Zealand and Australia. There seems to be a better life, better climate, happier people. And as former English colonies, you'd like to think it might be quite straightforward to immigrate there, but I don't think it is. I'm no expert though. Like America, it's a big country. There's certain parts of there where there might be a better way of living, like, I don't know, Florida, for example. Some where it just seems like a happier place to be. But I don't know because I've not been. But what I've seen, it just seems like a better place to live. It just seems way better than England. What we've got here, because the average working class town, it's just depressing. It's not inspiring. Everyone looks miserable. People don't talk to each other anymore. People don't trust each other anymore. It's just like the culture's just died. There's just nothing. Chavvy kids everywhere. They can't fucking stand the cunts. Just fucking. It's just somewhere I don't know what I mean. I'm not saying everything in England is bad, but I think the bad overshadows it. Like England's still, for now anyway, it's still very much got a good thing. It's still got its beauty. It's got the countryside. It's got some world top tier nature. One of my dream places to live in England is probably the Cotswolds, but you'd probably have to be rich to live over there. I just don't think England was what it used to be. It's probably going to get worse. I like to be optimistic, but I don't know if it'll get better. There's probably a better life elsewhere. Yeah, it's just somewhere I don't really feel inspired. I think since leaving school, I've been depressed. There's always been something missing. Some of that, I just don't feel like I just don't want to be here anymore. I just don't want to be in this country anymore. It's just. I think a lot of people don't like. I think this year, I think we do live in bad times. Like I think this is kind of like a new version of the Great Depression. I think a lot of people would think, oh, that's behind us, like World War Two, the Great Depression, all these bad times. But no, they're still here. So I do think this is like a new version of like the Great Depression. I think fucking definitely. I think just yeah. I think that's all I've got to say about that. I don't know if I might make a part two on my feelings of Britain and stuff, but there's something not right about this place. Catch you in another video.